I've been running for over 10 years and a lot more consistently the last 4 years, and I've done dozens of races. You can see all those medals back there. A lot of them are just participation and finisher medals, and some of those are actually first place, third place medals from some of the ultras and races I've participated in. And after racing plenty of times, I've found that I really like waking up incredibly early before a race. So I'm talking like if the race is at 6, I'm up at 2 in the morning, or the race is at 7, I'm up at 3. Usually my sweet spot is being up 4 hours before a race. I woke up like 4 hours before my 100-miler a couple months ago, or really a year ago. And I want to talk a little bit about why, because I think a lot of people focus on you need to get as much sleep as you can before a race and recover well, and I'm all about that. Unfortunately for me, I don't sleep very well the night before a race from stress, anxiety, whatever. And I really get my sleep in the week or two before the race. I pretty much count my night of sleep before the race is out like it almost doesn't exist or matter, because I just wake up and toss and turn. And so part of getting up so early is just because I can't sleep, but even on times I am sleeping a little bit better, I get up like 4, sometimes even 5 hours before a race. And I want to talk a little bit about why. And there's a couple things that stand out to me on why this is important, but the biggest thing is getting my mindset right. So I've had mornings where the race is at 6, I wake up at 5 or 4. And I don't feel like it gives me enough time to correct my mentality. And there's a couple of other things I'm going to walk you through that I do before a race that helps set me up for success. But the biggest thing is I need this time to correct my mindset. Because if I'm waking up 2 hours or 1 hour before a race, there's all these things I got to do, right? I got to brush my teeth and drink water, put on my outfit, tie my shoes, get to the place, the start line, make sure all my gear's set. And when I'm rushing through all that stuff, I don't have an opportunity to look at myself and talk myself into being positive and competitive and getting my mindset right before a race, because there's all these things I need to do. And so for me, there's a couple things I do, and I have to wake up a lot earlier to do this. And one is I shower before my race. I do this before every race, and I've gotten comments from people I've told this to, where they're like, "Well, you're just gonna have to shower after the race. Why do you do this?" And for me, it's one of those things, like if you feel good, you look good, and I feel great after a shower, and I brush my teeth, and I do my hair, and I put on deodorant. I feel fresh and clean, and that makes me feel better going into a race. There's so many anxieties and worries and fears, and so this helps combat some of that. But part of the shower is also just because it's 20 minutes or however long I take that shower before a race. It's 20 minutes of me sitting with my thoughts and watching the anxieties and insecurities and my fears. And so I work through those, and there's maybe a couple different strategies I have to work through that, but really the biggest one is asking myself questions like, what do you want to achieve? What's your race plan? What are you going to do halfway through the race? When are you going to take this stuff? I start to get logical because that overrides a lot of the emotion. It doesn't take it away fully, but because I've been doing this for so long, I have this little bit of a system where I wake up, I shower, I listen to music, and then I put in my earbuds and I brush my teeth, put on deodorant, get dressed, drink some water. That's the other part of this, is I like to drink some water before my race, obviously, but if I do it too close to the race, I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the race. So chugging some water at 2 in the morning gives me 4 hours to kind of flush that out and not have to, go to the bathroom during a race. And then drinking some coffee too helps me with like a bowel movement before a race, which runners totally understand that issue as well. So a lot of it's like getting my body prepped, and so I don't have to go to the bathroom. But more so than that, it's correcting my mindset. This most recent 50K I had, I was not feeling it at all. I wanted the race to be over before it even started. Leading up to it, I just didn't feel like myself going into it. And I wasn't feeling very great. And so that morning I started off with a lot of anxiety and doubts. And with that 3-4 hours, I was able to get my mindset a little more correct and demand the best, the best I could possibly give that day. And so I started that race with that mindset, and that race went to absolute shit. Like I couldn't breathe and was tasting blood within a mile. And something was off. I don't know if I had a bug or something. And I'm glad I had those couple hours before that race to correct my mindset, because it definitely tanked in the middle of the race, but especially if I was already going into it pretty poor and I didn't correct that like I did during my shower and getting ready for the day, I think I might have dropped out or maybe not have had the attitude to try and give my best regardless of what was going on. So it's really about setting myself up for success mentally. And sure, there's some things I like to do, like drinking water and putting, Vaseline and lubrication on my toes to help with blisters and all these specific things. But if I rush through that in an hour or two, it doesn't give me this conscious effort to work through my mindset. And I found that has been very valuable, and that has helped me either finish races I wasn't feeling well going into, or helped me set personal records, or actually winning a couple races as well. And I attribute a lot of that success to getting my mind right before the race. If you like content like this, running content, I do a lot of this stuff. My goal is to help people get fitter faster and enjoy the sport of running and avoid or work through their injuries. So if you like that kind of stuff, consider hitting that subscribe button. If not, that's cool too. I hope you got value out of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.